Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. A city council meeting starting right now is set to discuss the future of the Pathway of Madison County, a behavioral facility for teen girls that's faced some flack lately because of girls running away and rioting inside the facility, leaving nearby residents concerned. Here's a live look at tonight's meeting. This is with Owens Crossroads City Council. City attorneys announced after a closed-door session just last week that they will be pursuing legal action against Pathway Incorporated for the treatment of girls living at the facility. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to Owens Crossroads.
Just last week, Owens Crossroads city attorneys announced upcoming legal action against the Pathway of Madison County following several incidents, most recently involving 6 girls running away from the facility and hiding in the nearby neighborhood. Tonight, residents in that community are speaking out to the city council about their concerns. We talked to some nearby residents last week who said some of their concerns include lack of security, lack of communication about what goes on inside, and safety for both the girls in the facility and for children in the area. Per a city requirement months ago, Pathway is currently installing a large fence around the perimeter of the facility, but residents say that's not enough. They want to know how girls living at the behavioral facility are being treated. They say they hear screaming, banging on windows, and frequently see girls running away from the facility and hiding around nearby homes, leading to multiple police responses over the past several months. City attorneys and Pathway Incorporated are declining to comment because of the city's pending lawsuit against Pathway, but we did speak with Pathway administration last week, who told us they want the community to come in and see what Pathway is all about.
I would encourage people to volunteer, come out and assist the girls, whether it's, doing arts and crafts, whether it's Bible study, whether it's, just a positive activity where that they can see like there's people that care. And I think there would be less fear or, judgmental about the type of kids that we serve.
With that meeting just getting started now, I'll have more for you on Fox 54 News at 9. In Owens Crossroads, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
This is an ongoing story. We'll have updates for you as they come out. The council's next regular session is in 2 weeks, and that's on December 2nd. And we'll stay in Owens Crossroads. Here's another look where it was cloudy. A lot of cloud cover this time. It's totally covering the sky. You can't even see any peaks of blue. Let's bring in Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, day is now night. Will that cloud cover linger the rest of this evening?
First and foremost, that cloud cover does not look nearly as aesthetically pleasing as the cloud cover did earlier that Kenesha and I were looking at. But yes, we are going to maintain that cloud cover through the rest of the evening, and that cloud cover is eventually going to transition into a little bit of rain. Not right now, though. Radar looks nice and quiet. If you have any dinner plans this evening, it's going to be a wonderful evening for it. We're not going to be talking about any rain until we get to the later part of the overnight and early into your Wednesday morning. As a matter of fact, here's Futurecast, 9 o'clock tonight. Still holding on to that cloud cover, but it does look like we are going to be dry. Then we get to the earliest hours of Wednesday morning, 1 o'clock in the morning to be more specific. Giles and Lincoln counties up across southern Middle Tennessee beginning to see some scattered showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder. Now, as this activity gradually drops to the south through the earliest hours of Wednesday morning, and I literally mean the earliest hours of Wednesday morning, 3, 4 o'clock. It's actually going to weaken, so maybe not even a whole lot of thunderstorm activity across North Alabama. Just a little bit of rain as this pushes its way on through the area. After that, we're talking about a really nice Wednesday. It's going to be quite warm. We'll discuss it in just a few minutes.
The Madison County Commission held a special called session this morning to discuss plans for a new courthouse that would serve the county. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell attended today's meeting and tells us where they are in the process.
The Madison County Commission held a special meeting this morning in its chambers in the courthouse. They spent 3 hours listening to, discussing, and interviewing different architectural firms. This comes after the county is looking to upgrade the current courthouse. Commissioner Phil Riddick says a new building is long overdue, that the current building is outdated from a technology and functionality standpoint and no longer serves its purpose. 3 firms presented during today's session all have designed prominent buildings for the county in the past. The firms presented hand-sketched and virtual drawings with potential designs for the courthouse to showcase their capabilities. Their pitches addressed the concerns of the commission and the budgeting for the project.
Logistics around the square as the construction starts. starts. That's a big deal for us, how we manage the traffic around the square, the businesses around town. We don't want to, as little abruption of the business as possible.
He says environmental issues come into play as downtown's Big Spring Park may be impacted by construction. The board also expressed its worry surrounding relocation during construction and parking, which the firms addressed. Riddick mentioned discussions around a new court have gone on for a couple of years now, but the overall project could potentially take 5 years. Chairman Mac McCutcheon says they have come a long way and are still continuing to make progress, all in an effort to improve the functionality of the courthouse and its day-to-day operations.
Space, and then having the safety, more modern technology, accessibility.
McCutcheon says once the architect work starts and the commission has visuals to show, the public will play a huge role in the project as they will be impacted. From the Madison County Courthouse, Logan Alexander Russell, Fox 54 News.
The firms presented the possibility of having 2 sites instead of 1. McCutcheon says the commission hasn't made that decision, nor do they want to discuss which company they're leaning toward. A preliminary hearing has been set for December 9th in the case against the killing man accused of making terrorist threats targeting Deschler High School. Robert Bowman, pictured here, held on a single count of making a terrorist threat and faces a $10,000 bond. Police say Bowman drove onto school property and posted threatening videos online, prompting fears and school disruptions. His attorney has requested access to evidence, including statements, videos, and other items the state may use at trial. A DeKalb County judge has appointed legal counsel for the man charged with capital murder in a Fort Payne double shooting. Jacob Mitchum, the man you see on your screen, appeared via Zoom Monday and will be represented by attorneys Clint Eubanks and Chad Stallings. The appointment came after his initial court appearance when he asked for time to consult his family about hiring an attorney. Mitchum is accused of killing 27-year-old Alicia Keller and 24-year-old Logan Brown at an apartment in Fort Payne. According to court records, Keller had previously gotten a protective order against Mitchum, which included a child, which was terminated in August. No date for the next court appearance has been announced. The National Park Service has begun its prescribed fire season along the Natchez Trace Parkway, running through May of next year. The controlled burns are set to take place in Colbert County at Freedom Hills. Officials warn that smoke may linger, trails could close, and drivers should watch for firefighters and equipment. Prescribed burns help reduce wildlife risk and maintain healthy forests. Alabama Public Television will stay with PBS for now. The Alabama Education Television Commission voted Tuesday today to maintain the network's current contract, which runs through June of next year. The decision follows nearly 2 hours of public input in Birmingham, where viewers shared their opinions. Some commissioners had raised concerns about costs and the network's image, while others warned that ending the partnership could hurt educational programming for children. The board plans to form a committee to review suggestions from Governor Kay Ivey before making any future changes. Senator Katie Britt spoke with the news media today from Washington, commenting on new SNAP benefit rules. The changes would see new work requirements that would require those who are applying and are able-bodied to prove they are working at least 80 hours a month, which some have called a restriction. Senator Britt pushed back against the claim, saying the requirements help stop waste.
We have made sure that we are taking a look at waste, fraud, and abuse and systems, that we are making sure that these systems are sustainable moving forward, which is important because I want people who need help to be able to get it. I want these programs to be able to maintain, and us to be able to maintain these programs.
Britt also says the new requirements would not impact those who are disabled. So joining us right now is Carson. And Carson, you had an opportunity to sit in on that call she had with news media. And from what I understand, there's an increase in work hours.
Yeah, so basically that increase is going to be 80 hours a month. Now, let me say also, it doesn't just have to be work, that's the term we use. It could be education, it could be volunteering. There's a number of different factors. And it's very interesting to see how this is going to be implemented, because there's plenty of carve-outs where that 80 hours could be applied to clearly different places. So it's not in exactly one solution, you have to work. It's more different areas where you can kind of put in those hours.
So from what I'm hearing, community service would be
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
would be eligible. And to follow up on that, Carson, what is the conflict that people have with it?
From what I've seen so far, there's a lot of concerns, especially when it comes to those who are disabled. Senator Bridge, she's saying, hey, look, with these restrictions that are being possibly put in, we are not going to have. If you're able-bodied, you're going to worry about that. If you're disabled, you're not going to have to worry about these. But there could be some concerns. Well, maybe there's an injury that maybe the government says, oh, okay, you're fine to work, you're able-bodied, but for someone, maybe it's an arm injury, a shoulder injury, leg injury. They say, well, I don't feel like I can put in those 80 hours. How am I going to be impacted where I'm forced to work under those able-bodied, descriptions? But for me, I feel like I can't. So that seems to be the main point right now, where people are kind of arguing between those two sides.
Last question. This is across the board. This doesn't just apply to Alabama.
I know it's nationwide, so it's going to be interesting to see the entire nationwide rollout. But this is not just an Alabama thing.
All right. Thank you, Carson. All right, we'll continue to follow that. Tennessee hunters, get ready. The statewide gun season for deer opens Saturday and runs through January 4th. The season covers all 6 deer management units, and hunters can also use muzzle loaders or archery gear. The statewide limit is 2 antlered bucks, no more than 1 per day. Antlerless limits vary by region, and officials urge hunters to review the 2025-26 Tennessee hunting and trapping guide for full rules, license requirements, and safety information. The Morgan County Sheriff's Office is warning the public of a phone scam targeting locals with threats of arrests, fines, and jury duty. According to officials, scammers may call claiming you owe money for bonds, bail, or other legal reasons. The Sheriff's Office urges residents to not send cash over the phone or through apps, and to meet a licensed bondsman in person if needed. Authorities say they will never contact anyone by phone about arrests, warrants, or jury duty. And if you get these calls, you should hang up immediately.
Most people learn best when they're able to take it from a book and apply it to real life.
And that is exactly what this teacher does in her classroom. She teaches science. We get to meet her as this week's Fox 54's top teacher. Stick around. And the Postal Service is urging you to ship early this holiday season as key mailing deadlines approach. We'll give you the important dates next.
Now, Fox 54's top teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
It's one thing to be recognized by peers and also parents, but it's another when one of your pupils nominates you for outstanding work. I felt like a kid again in this teacher's classroom, learning a lot about science. I have the honor to share this week's Fox 54's top teacher, Carrie Vogel from Buckhorn Middle School. Take a walk in Carrie Vogel's class and you'll see.
It's fascinating. There's always something new. It's always changing. Nothing is ever the same.
She's mad about science, and it's not just Vogel who loves science.
We learn about life science and a lot of stuff about the body.
Her students love it too.
We made DNA models with using candy, and they all like that. I got to eat the candy afterwards, so it was Twizzlers and gumdrops.
Vogel teaches 7th grade science.
This is my 2nd full year here at Buckhorn Middle. I love it.
She's taught for a total of 7 years, and one thing she's learned.
Most people learn best when they're able to apply what they are learning, take it from a book and apply it to real life, and be able to look at it outside of just a classroom.
It's why students like Brooklyn Brazelton love her class.
She's like a really good teacher, and she understands you well. Didn't really like science, but I like science now because she's a good teacher. We learn about cancer and stuff, and we have a lab that we go in and do stuff.
Vogel hopes their love for science doesn't stop with her.
I really hope that they have a desire to want to learn more about life science and biologies and go into some type of STEM science in the future.
Her love for teaching 7th grade science won't stop either.
I love 7th grade. It's my favorite grade to teach. Of all the grades, I've taught 6 through 12, and I will go back to 7th grade if it's given the choice every time.
Congratulations, Mrs. Vogel. Well deserved. Checked out the moment she was surprised by her student, Brooklyn, later tonight on Fox 54 Plus, right here. Also nominated teacher on FOX54.com. Holiday shipping deadlines are coming up fast, and the Postal Service says don't wait. We'll have what you need to know next. And Jordan, how's the weather looking tonight?
Yeah, for the most part, we're going to be quiet for the next couple of hours, but then we begin to see some rain. Then we head into your Wednesday, and we're talking about the warmth. We'll discuss it in just a couple of minutes.
Good news for North Alabama travelers ahead of its return to Huntsville International Airport tomorrow. Allegiant Airlines has announced a new direct flight from Huntsville to Gulf Shores next year. That's when it's coming. The airline says service will start May 21st from Huntsville International Airport with one-way fares starting at only $39. The new route gives Huntsville area travelers easier access to the Gulf Coast.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
And here's a look from earlier this evening outside of our station. This is along the access way on Memorial Parkway. You can see beautiful sky there. Throughout the show, we've had images of cloud cover. This was one of those moments where not so much.
Yeah, it was very location dependent this afternoon. Some of us had sunshine like all day. Other folks had cloud cover built in, and it was kind of gray.
Can't complain, didn't have to wear a jacket or a sweater today.
No, all told, there are very little complaints about your Tuesday. It was abnormally warm. As a matter of fact, temperatures had no problems climbing into the 70s. Maybe the only complaint would be from those that unfortunately had to deal with more cloud cover and therefore didn't get to enjoy a lot of sunshine. Now, at this point in the evening, most of us are talking about a mostly cloudy or an overcast sky, but for right now, we're not talking about any rain. So if you have any dinner plans tonight, well, there's no need to cancel those. And frankly, it's probably warm enough outside that you could even eat dinner outdoors. Radar looks nice and quiet this evening, but that's going to change as we head into the overnight and then through the earliest hours of your Wednesday morning. Here's Futurecast, 9 o'clock tonight. Still dry, but we are still talking about a fair amount of cloud cover. Then we get to the earliest hours of Wednesday morning, and I really mean the earliest hours, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, talking about some scattered showers and thunderstorms up across southern and middle Tennessee, beginning to move into Giles and Lincoln counties. A little bit of thunder, a little bit of lightning associated with this activity, some pockets of heavier rain. Now, as this activity begins to drop into North Alabama, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, it's actually going to do a really good job at weakening. So maybe not even a lot of thunderstorm activity across North Alabama, maybe a row grumble of thunder here and there, maybe a pocket of heavier rain. But again, this is going to be weakening. So I think the rain for the most part is probably going to be on the lighter end of the spectrum. It doesn't stick around very long. By the time we get to the Wednesday morning commute, we are dry, though sitting under a mostly cloudy sky. And we're going to hold on to that cloud cover as we head into the later part of the morning. Other opportunities for rain are in the forecast as we head into your Thursday. Best chance of rain is going to come Friday, small chance on Saturday, dry Sunday, Monday, and then another chance of rain as we head into Tuesday of next week. Here's Futurecast as we head into Thursday morning. We're dry for the Thursday morning commute, albeit sitting under a mostly cloudy sky. A couple of spotty showers beginning to develop through the early part of the afternoon. This activity might become a little more widespread as we head into the evening, especially up across southern and middle Tennessee, maintaining the chance for rain as we head into the overnight and then early into your Friday morning. But again, the Friday morning commute should be without problems across the area. And as a matter of fact, I think a good chunk of the afternoon on Friday is probably going to be dry. It's not until we get to Friday evening into the early part of the overnight that we really begin to see more widespread precipitation build in and develop across the Tennessee Valley. That activity is going to be associated with a cold front. Cold front by the time we get to Friday night back off to the west. It's going to move through Friday night and then early into Saturday morning. Therefore, we're going to maintain a small opportunity for rain as we head into the front half of the day on Saturday. Temperatures still sitting in the lower 70s across the Tennessee Valley, with the exception being over in far northeast Alabama. Fort Payne, good evening. You find yourself sitting at 65 degrees. We only drop into the lower 60s as we head into the overnight. I've got a low right around 61. No problems for the bus stop tomorrow morning. 64 at 7, 65 by 8, 68 at 9, 71 degrees by the time we get to 10 a.m. From there, temperatures have no problems climbing into the upper 70s, getting really close to record warmth both Wednesday and Thursday. Probably not going to see it on Friday, but we are still going to be warm across the Tennessee Valley on Friday. Have a good look at the next 7 days. A pair of 78s, Wednesday, Thursday, 73, 74, Friday and Saturday. Saturday, not going to be a complete wash. Best chance of rain there on Saturday is going to come before the lunch hour. Now, on the backside of that cold front, we do get cooler Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week, but we're still going to be above average. The average high temperature for late November, right around 62 or 63 degrees. 67 next Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Thank you, Jordan. Drake State Community and Technical College is reporting its biggest enrollment jump in more than a decade. Leaders say more than 1,400 students signed up for fall 2025, a 19% increase from last year. In credit, our production is up 23%. The college credits its growth to expanded programs, increased outreach to local schools and industry partners, and enhanced student support. The U.S. Postal Service is reminding everyone to ship early this holiday season. If you're sending gifts or cards for Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, or any winter celebration, USPS says to pay close attention to their mailing deadlines. For most of the country, Ground Advantage and First Class mail should go out by December 17th, Priority Mail by December 18th, and Priority Mail Express by December 20th. Dates are similar for Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and U.S. territories. Mo, what's new with sports?
Well, the Alabama A&M Bulldogs wrapping up their 2025 season with a trip to H-Town this weekend. We'll talk to Sam Shade about preparation next.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Hey everyone, the Alabama A&M Bulldogs are preparing for their final game of the 2025 season. It's been a tough year for head coach Sam Shade and company, but they have one more shot to end on a high note. The Bulldogs wrapping up the 2025 slate in the Lone Star State against Texas Southern. A&M has won 5 straight against the Tigers from TSU, dating all the way back to 2016. But the Bulldogs are currently in the middle of a 4-game losing streak and are just 1-6 in conference play. Head coach Sam Shade says his team's preparation has still been impressive during a tough stretch and that everything they do is with the mindset of how to best build up the foundations of this program.
Our guys have continued to fight. They've continued to work hard to try to get better and improve and all those things. And so, you know, we're looking forward to Texas Southern. And I'm a big believer that you're only as good as your last game. I'm a big believer in that. So the thinking is have a great week of preparation this week, go out to Texas Southern, find a way to win the ball game, and then take that momentum into the offseason.
All right, the Bulldogs and the Tigers of Texas Southern will go toe-to-toe in H-Town this Saturday at 2 p.m. That game will stream live on HBCU Go. Now, coming up tonight in sports on Fox 54 at 9, we'll talk to the UNA Lions as they prepare for their final home game at Brawley Stadium, and we'll find out where Alabama landed in the latest college football playoff rankings. Kanisha.
Yes, neighbors are calling for action after a string of runaways from a local behavioral facility. Hear their concerns and what Pathways say they want the community to know tonight on Fox 54 News at 9. Allegiant Airlines is making its way back to Huntsville International Airport, and Fox 54 takes you to the official launch party. And the House has overwhelmingly passed a bipartisan bill demanding the Justice Department release all case files tied to Jeffrey Epstein. We'll have more on that vote tonight on Fox 54 News at 9. But before we let you go, just ahead of Thanksgiving, Heinz is out with a new condiment inspired by the 90s sitcom Friends. The one with Ross's sandwich from season 5 featured an after Thanksgiving sandwich made with leftovers. I haven't seen it, but nonetheless, Heinz limited edition leftover gravy pays tribute to that sandwich. The company says it's made with real turkey broth. It's not for sale individually, but if you buy a jar of Heinz homestyle turkey gravy from Walmart.com, you'll score the sauce. Well,
okay.
Mo, are you a Friends fan? Because I have no idea what we're talking about.
I'm not I know of Friends, you know.
Like, you know the show exists.
Correct, I know the show exists, but as far as like the whole gravy thing, I have no idea. And I'm also kind of curious, like leftover gravy, that means we're talking about leftover food, and I don't care if you put it in the refrigerator or not, I still think that's not good for your body after a certain amount of time.
I'm wondering if it's like a mayo replacement, because again, I will reiterate, I've never seen Friends, but he hasn't seen it, he hasn't seen it, none of us seen it.
We are not the three people to be talking about this.
No, it does not sound appetizing at all.
No. And then you said broth as well.
Yeah, where are we putting broth in gravy?
Yeah.
Like, I
to
feel
put on a sandwich.
I feel like the average homemade gravy cooked by grandma would have a heart attack at the thought of broth.
Too much turkey.
It's just, the whole thing is not right.
It's a turkey on turkey. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tonight at 9.